Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Translation Studies and Training, SOTST. Master of Arts, Translation Studies, Maths, English. First year. MTT 014 Translation and Indian Languages. Block 1 Indian Language Family. Unit 2 Dravid Language Family. 2.0 Objectives. After reading this unit, you will be able to know origin and nomenclature of the Dravidian language family, native languages of the Dravidian language family as well as other languages, place of Dravidian languages among Indian languages, area of Dravidian languages, and linguistic features of Dravidian languages. 2.1 Introduction. The Dravidian language family is important in India as the second language family after the Indo-European language family. It is the fifth largest language family in the world. Languages belonging to the Dravidian language family are spoken by about 200 million people in different parts of the world, mainly in South Asia. This language family includes about 26 languages, as well as about 20 languages for which no literature is available. In the present unit, we will discuss the important points related to the Dravidian language family. 2.2 Nomenclature. The term was first used by Robert Caldwell around 1856 as Dravidian. The word is a modified form of Sanskrit, Dravid, which was traditionally used for the Tamil language and people. Accepting this, Robert Caldwell says that the word Dravidian is made due to the influence of the word Dravida. This word was used for Tamil language and people. They acknowledge that there can be differences of opinion about the term and nomenclature. This word was used by Sanskrit philologists to refer to South Indian people and their languages. Caldwell gives the source of this word that the use of this word as a language is found in Kumaril Bhatta's Tantravartika. The use of this word is also found in Manusmriti, Acharya Bharatha's Natya Shastra and Mahabharata. These include the use of the word Dravid in reference to the people and the use of the word Dravidi in the sense of a small Prakrit language developed from Peshachi. 2.3 The question of the place of origin of the Dravidian linguistic community. Historians and linguists have considered the question of the place of origin of the Dravidian linguistic community from different points of view. In this context, Cavallis Forza says the center of origin of the Dravidian languages may be somewhere in western India. This center can also be in southern India. This language family is found scattered in northern India and as Brahui in western Pakistan. Cavallis Forza, LL. 2000, Genes, People and Languages. Cavallis Forza also links the Dravidian languages with the Indus Valley civilization. In fact, there is no archaeological or linguistic evidence of the fact that when the people speaking Dravidian languages came to India, but there is evidence to suggest that they were in India around the 15th century BC when the Rigvedic Aryans entered northwestern India. Without any evidence, most scholars accept that about 2 centuries before the arrival of the Aryans, the former Dravidians came to India from the northwestern region. Rasmus Rusk first proposed this idea that their relationship can be linked with the primitive tribes of North Asia and Europe. Dr. Suniti Kumar Chaturja believes that the Dravidians were representatives of different branches of the Mediterranean races, Indo-Aryan languages and Hindi. Some scholars also believe that the original Dravidian-speaking people were residents of the West. Their original residence is found in some areas of the eastern Mediterranean Sea, the Lycia region of Asia. Minor, and the Crete Islands. The ancient name of the Dravidians, Dramij or Dramil, from which the words Dramid, Dravid, Mil and Tamil came out of Arya language. Analysis of Dravidian literature suggests that it dates back to the middle of the first millennium AD. But the period when the Aryans came in contact with the Dravidians of India and outside India has been estimated the middle of the second millennium. Concluding all this, it can be said that all these hypotheses are based on guesswork. No authentic and effective hypothesis has come to the fore yet. All the speculations that have been made regarding the entry of the East Dravidians into India are based on the fact that the Brahui was the result of the first division of East Dravidians, and the Indus Valley civilization are believed to be associated with the Dravidians. It is also believed that the civilization of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro was originally inhabited by the Dravidians. The Brahui caste of Baluchistan was also a Dravidian. Dr. Suniti Kumar Chaturja estimates that, before the advent of the Aryans, it was the Dravidians who built the great civilizations of Punjab and Sindh. Overall, this fact can be considered that the Dravidians were the natives of India. At the time when the Aryans entered India, the Dravidians lived in the western and northwestern regions of India. 1500 BC. After the Aryans entered India around 1500 BC, they spread to different regions of India. 2.4 Vocabulary, historical evidence. Many words of Dravidian origin are found in Rigvedic Sanskrit, the oldest form of Sanskrit, on the basis of which the belief developed that before the entry of the Aryans into India around 1500 BC, the Dravidians had settled in northwestern India. The credit of retroflex consonants in Sanskrit in Rigvedic period also goes to the contact of Sanskrit-speaking people with Dravid-speaking people. According to Russian scholar Nikita Gurov, there are about 80 words of Dravid origin in the Rigveda. Caldwell and many other scholars have discovered many such words in Greek, Latin and Hindu about which they believed that these are basically originated from Dravidian. But the authenticity of such beliefs is doubtful. 2.5 Sanskrit and Dravidian languages. Many linguists targeted the influence of Dravidian languages on Sanskrit from many points of view like phoneme, grammar, words, etc. Many scholars accept that the development of T class phoneme in Sanskrit was due to Dravidian influence. Compound verbs, prepositions, and comparative adjectives are also the contribution of Dravidians. Imitative vocabulary in Sanskrit can also be considered as its contribution. According to Dr. Hardev Bahri, the scheme of conjunctions, future tense, to words, to genders, use of preposition instead of inflection, additional verbs in passive voice and elements of sentence planning have come from Dravidian language. 2.6 Language area extension. On the basis of the number of language users, the Dravidian language family is considered to be at the fifth position amongst all the language families of the world. The Dravidian language family is spread over a large area of India in terms of area. Detailed information related to the area expansion of languages that come under the Dravidian language family is as follows: Tamil, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Malaysia, Singapore, Mauritius, Fiji, Burma, Tamil Nadu. Malayalam, official language of Kerala. Kannada, official language of Karnataka. Telugu, official language of Andhra Pradesh. Tulu, Southern Kannada district of Karnataka, west coast of Kerala. Kodgu, Coorg, district of Karnataka, bordering Kerala. Irul, Nilgiri Hills. Kurumb Nilgiri Hills. Todd, Western region of Nilgiri Hills. Quote, Nilgiri Shilpi. 2.7 Dravidian languages as a family. Around 1816, Francis White Ellis did research on South Indian languages under the name Dissertation on the Telugu language. Ellis was an English civil service officer. He found that while and class and Mass Tamil, grammatical and general Telugu, ancient and modern Carnatic and Kannada, Malayalam and Tuluv together form a language family which can rightly be called the dialects of South India. Earlier, in 1786, Sir William Jones gave the concept of language family. About 30 years later, Ellis tried to establish the Dravidian languages as a family. In support of his hypothesis, he placed Telugu, Kannada and Tamil under this language family from the lexical and grammatical point of view. In 1856, Robert Caldwell wrote a work called Comparative Grammar, which can be called the first seminal work related to the comparative study of the languages of the Dravidian language family. He accepted 12 languages under the Dravidian language family: Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Tunu, Kodagu or Korg, Todd, Kota, Gondi, Kui, Orao, Malto. Caldwell was able to link these languages under the hypothesis of a language family. In the second half of the 19th century, several languages were added to the Dravidian language family: Gondi, Dryburgh 1849, Kui, Letchamaji 1853, Kolmi, Hislap 1866, Kodagu, Kol 1867, Tulu, Brigal 1872, Malto, Droys 1884, Todd, Bernhard Schmidt, Brahui, Leach 1838. Today about 26 Dravidian languages are known, which are divided into 4 groups. South Dravidian, Tamil, Malayalam, Irula, Kurumva, Kodagu, Todd, Kot, Budag, Kannada, Korag, Tulu. South Central Dravidian, Telugu, Godi, Kond, Kui, Kubi, Pengo, Manda. Central Dravidian, Kolmi, Nekri, Neki, Parji, Ollari, Gadab. North Dravidian, Koruks, Malto, Brahui. 2.7.1 Linguistic features. The languages of this family are mainly simple agglutinative. Languages have the ability to create the compound. The quality of tone conformity is present. These languages have 5 short and 5 long vowels. Only a few languages of the Nilgiris and Kodagu have phonemic centralized vowels, which evolved from a modified form of phoneme. Initial vowels before double consonants. Circled vowels developed only in Todd and Irul. There is no vowel stress in any Dravidian language. Generally, stress is on the first vowel of the word. Whether short or long words can start with both vowel and consonant. There are both short and long vowels. Very short A is added after the last consonant. There is the priority of retroflex sounds. It is believed that T vowel sounds in Sanskrit were developed from Dravidian languages only. The Dravidian languages have a tendency to form structurally compound words, i.e., the languages are structurally compound in their own structure. The words do not have prefixes and suffixes. Grammatical relations in words are established on the basis of suffixing and compounding. Dravidian nouns do not have inflectional forms. While using words in a sentence, that is, while forming clauses, such locutions are added to the words which can also be separated. The only difference between singular and plural is that the original form of the spatial word is added in singular and in the plural indicative form after adding the plural suffix. All of them, regardless of whether they are of a word or a list, take those spatial forms. Which takes by the singular. No separate word form of these migrants can be considered. They are simply relative nouns and are used as auxiliaries. Words are often spoken. There is no law for the use of consonant sounds at the beginning of a word, but it is necessary to pronounce vowel sounds, especially in Tamil. The subject is used at the beginning of the sentence and the verb at the end. The adjective comes before the adjective goes before the verb, the object of the verb and all its adjectives are used before the verb. Adjective participle is used before a proper noun. The negative of the sentence comes immediately before the participle. The relative factor or word is used before related. In place of the preposition, the postposition is added and then the causative expression is expressed. The ending of the sentence is done by the verb. These are the distinctive features of the Dravidian languages. On the basis of these features, Caldwell believes that these Dravidian languages are clearly so different from the Aryan languages that they have to be considered as a completely different family from the Indo-European family, especially from Sanskrit. Although they have been in social, religious contact with Sanskrit-speaking languages for ages, there can be no doubt about their different existence. There are 2 words and 3 genders. Male or female gender words are added for gender. The functions of inflections are taken from suffixes. The forms of adjectives do not work according to the noun. There is an excess of dental forms in verb. There is no passive. There are 2 types of nouns, conscious and unconscious. Conscious means the one who has the power of knowledge discretion, and unconscious means the one who does not have the power of knowledge discretion. In Sanskrit and other Indo-European languages, adjectives also follow the same form as nouns and pronouns. Their gender, words, factors are all there. The forms of adjectives do not work in Dravid languages. Adjectives are not noun-based, that is, the forms of adjectives do not follow the noun. When they are not used as adjectives with substantive but as possessive nouns, they also have the same form as nouns, but when they are used before substantive in adjective form, only the original form before it are kept in. There is an excess of participle forms in the verb. Participial forms also have signs of verbs and also of adjectives. In the Indo-European languages, prelocatives are used to convey the same meaning that the Dravidian languages use prelocatives. Those on spaces cannot be considered as a separate word form. These are just simple nouns indicating quality or relationship and are used as meaning helpers. An adverb is either a noun or a past participle and is used before a verb that they are adverbs. There is no use of verb or expression. To express their sense, auxiliary verbs are added which mean to suffer or be forced. There is a greater tendency to use prepositions instead of conjunctive elements. There is a tendency of participle forms in place of relative pronouns. 2.8 Let us sum up. In the present unit, while discussing Dravidian languages in detail, we have discussed some important points. We learned that almost all the languages of the southern part of India are included under the Dravidian language family. Apart from the major languages of this family, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, it also has many important languages which are spoken in South India. Discussing in this sequence, we also learned here that the Dravidian language family is the fifth largest language family in the world, under which about 26 languages are spoken. Apart from this, the origin of Dravidian languages is before Sanskrit. Although scholars do not have any concrete evidence regarding this, but on the basis of estimation, it is said that Dravid had come to India many years before the arrival of Aryans. Discussing the place of origin of Dravidian languages, we also studied the views of various linguists. It can be clearly said that the Dravidian language family is an important language family not only of India, but of the world. In the next unit, we will study another important language family of India, the Austroasiatic language family. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the